Peace was good. Welcome to Hip Hop Round Review Part 40. Sorry, it's been a couple weeks since I've done it. The last one I did was on Redman's There Was a Dark Side. Things has been, had a couple of tribulations going on in my life, but everything's coming back to pace, you know what I mean? And like I told you guys before, like I go to a FYE that's like near my house, like the mall, and that FYE usually don't have a lot of good stuff, so you know what I mean. So I just try to do what I can, you know what I mean. But without further ado, here's the first album of the day. Is 95 Nudder Butters EP, released in '94. This was released exclusively by Loud Records. This EP is more so of a promo for the artist at the time that was part of Loud Records. It has 5 songs. Songs include Damn by the Alcoholics, who released their second album. This was off their second album, Coast to Coast, which in my opinion is their best album. Shook Ones Part 2 by Mobb Deep. You guys already know about Mobb Deep. You guys should know about that song. That's their breakthrough song. Questions by Madcap. For those who don't know who Madcap are, they're a group that's affiliated with the Alcoholics. They first appeared on the Alcoholics' first album, 21 and Over, which came out in '93, and they also released their first album called Look My Duke No Hands, and that album is actually out of print, and it's very hard to come by. But if you go on Amazon, you could go find it for a cheaper price, for a decent price. The fourth song is Land of the Lost by Cellar Dwellers. Cellar Dwellers is one of the illest hip hop duos that ever came out. Very underrated in my opinion. Land of the Lost was their first single off their 1986 debut album, Realms of Reality. I don't have that in my collection, but I have a burnt copy of that. That album is fucking sick. Some of Nick Wiz's illest beats on that album. Again, just like some other albums from the 90s, that one was extremely hard to find, but and it's out of print too. But if you can find it, definitely go pick it up. And the last song is a song called Someone by Bernard Paul. I couldn't find any information about Bernard Paul. He's like the only R&B singer on the album, on the EP. Excuse me. It's a decent track. I couldn't find it on YouTube to post it. You guys know I already like posting songs on my description box. You know what I mean? But this is 95 Nudder Butters EP, released in '94 by Loud Records. Like I said, there's nothing to go crazy over. It's songs that you can easily find on YouTube, but I just picked it up because just for just to have, you know what I mean? Like that's to add to the collection, you know what I mean? But released in '94 by Loud Records, and it was cheap too. It was like $2.99. Next album is Your Konfusion by Juggaknots. For those who know who Juggaknots are, they're a group from the Bronx, New York. They got their start back in the mid '90s, specifically in 1995. Members consist of Breezy Bruin, Lady Heroin, and hold on, I gotta cheat. And Buddy Slim. They got their start like I said, in the mid '90s. Give me 1 second. Yeah, like I said, they got that started in the mid '90s, and they released the album back in '96 called Clear Blue Skies, which is considered a hip hop classic because it really is. Like the beats, the lyrics, the shit that they were talking about, like just the production alone was like worth getting. But unfortunately, that album, when it first came out, it was vinyl only, and it was released under Fondulum Records. And anything with Fondulum Records is very hard to come by. anything with Final Records is definitely a must cop, especially if you're a 12-inch. If you're into like the indie hip hop from the mid '90s and stuff like that, that Final Records, that, you know, if you like the Stretch and Bobbito, like that era, definitely pick it up. If you see anything with Final Records, definitely worth picking up. Fast forward to 2003, they re-released Clear Blue Skies, but it was called re-release. And like I said, it was the same album, but they added more songs to it. They added, I think, like 11 tracks to the album. But even to this day, that album is actually hard to find. It's out of print. Again, I don't have a physical copy of the album. I'm still trying to scour the earth for the album. I didn't really know about Juggaknots until like around, I want to say like around 2006, 2007. But by the time that album came out, it was already out of print. So, and I didn't really stress it because I already had a burnt copy. But I do want that album. And then 2004, they released an album called The Love Deluxe Movement, which is not really an album. It's just more like a compilation where they rap over like other people's instrumentals, like probably like 1 or 2 new songs and just freestyles, and they just have like the instrumentals and stuff like that. And then fast forward to 2006, we have this album. This is their second album, by the way. It's a decent album. When I first heard it, it took me a couple of listens to really like it, because again, I'm used to the Clear Blue Skies, like that sound, that gritty sound. If you're expecting that with this album, you're gonna be deeply disappointed. The beats here, I mean, they're still boom bap, but they're more polished, you know what I mean, compared to Clear Blue Skies. I'll tell you the songs that I like, or I'll give you guys the singles first. The singles off this album is Namesake, which they have a video for. Your Konfusion, which they have a video for. Daddy's Little Girl, and 30 Something. Like I said, those songs are pretty dope. They all have videos for. I'll post on in the description box for that. Leon Phelps, the track number 4, Leon Phelps. For you guys should know Leon Phelps. For all my people that watches Saturday Night Live, excuse me. You guys should know what that show is about. For those who don't watch that show, you guys should know the comedian that played the black comedian that played the Ladies Man, that movie The Ladies Man, the black guy with the afro. That's Leon Phelps. Well, they pretty much paid homage to that guy, Leon Phelps. So I thought that was pretty dope. Namesake, pretty dope beat, dope song. Your Konfusion, that was a dope song too. Vows with Slick Rick, that was pretty dope. Daddy's Little Girl, which I thought was pretty good. Daddy's Little Girl is a solo track by Lady Heroin, where, you know, she's pretty much paying homage to her father. You know what I mean? Talking about how she grew up with her father, and like how that her father influenced her, had a big impact on her life and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty good. And to me, the standout track, in my opinion, that I like the most is 30 Something featuring Sadat X. In this song, 30 Something is where you have Breezely, you know, talking about you know, he's just getting to his 30s, he's not getting any younger. You want to be able to live a good life, how he wants to eat healthier, and, you know, stuff of that, things of that nature. Just, you know, trying to live better. You know what I mean? It's just make it, you know, just to debunk that stereotype that, you know, once you're 30 years old, your life is over, you can't have fun. And he's trying to tell you that's not true. Like, you still live your life, but, you know, you just gotta, you know, just be more conscious, and you can't go all crazy about it. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty good. And there's another song called Crazy Eights, which is like a big party track, which features 8 people on the song, which I thought was pretty dope. That includes J-Treds, Little Side J-Treds. For all my fans in the underground, you guys should know who J-Treds is. Especially if you're a fan of the whole Final Records movement, especially if you're familiar with the Stretch and Bobbito. He was definitely into a lot of that. Little Side, he was part of the whole Little Side Little Sight, he was part of the whole Signs of Life group. He's part of that group. Pop, B Slim, Big Tone, Shay Logan, Wordsworth, dope underground artists. Heroin, Lady Heroin, aka Heroin. Subconscious, I don't know who that is. Robbo of I fame. The group that he's with, Marco Polo, Grab Lover, shout out to Grab Lover, and Robbo, that group that they're affiliated with Pete Rock. They need to release that album, the Center of Attention album. That shit needs to come out. Jax, who's an MC from Queens, from Rochdale, which is not too far from where I used to live in Queens. He passed away of a heart attack back in 2004. Rest in peace to him. He was definitely a dope MC. And Breeze Brewin himself. Definitely a dope album. Definitely, it takes a couple of listens to really appreciate the album. But if you like the Juggaknots, you definitely enjoy this. Definitely need to pick this album, have this in your collection. This is Your Konfusion by Juggaknots, released in 2006. See how much time I got left. Alright. Next album is Bulletproof by Ghostface Killah, released in 2001. To sum it up, this is definitely Ghostface's most underrated album in his collection. When I first heard this album years ago, when I first copped it, I didn't bought the original. I bought the bootleg copy. I know, guys. I'm sorry, kill me, whatever. But at the time, when this album first came out, it had a lot of issues where like the track listing wasn't correct. That was the fault of the company, the record label. He was under Epic Records at the time. There were songs that was cut off because of sample clearances. And songs that included Good Times, Good Times, The Watch with Raekwon, and The Sun with Slick Rick. There's a dope song with Slick Rick that was pretty dope. I post those songs that was left off the album on this song. Off this album. And what's interesting, there's a song called Flowers, which was the one on the album is left off. Is remixed. The one that first came out in Hot 97, the one I liked the most, was left off this album because of sample clearances too. Singles this album is known for is Never Be the Same Again. That was a big song when it first came out. With Carl Thomas is definitely a dope singer. In my opinion, very underrated. And I believe that's it. I believe that was like the only singles off the album. And Flowers, but Flowers was like a more underground single. Standout tracks that I like off the album is Maxine, where he talks about Maxine being a mom that's hooked on heroin. She's a negligent mother. She just leaves her child wandering around and shit like that, have no care for a kid and shit like that. Things like the ghetto tales, you know what I'm saying, the sad ghetto tales. Flowers, like I said before, that song was remixed because of sample clearances, which sucks because I believe if those songs were never left off the album, if it was put on the album, I think the album would have been a lot more successful, in my opinion. Like I said, Never Be the Same Again, where he talks about chick being divorcing Ghostface Killah, gold digger sluts, all you gold digger sluts I have no respect for. All my independent women, I have much respect to you women, much respect, do y'all thing, but all you gold digger sluts out there, I have no respect for. And that's pretty much what he talks about, Never Be the Same Again. Theodore, dope song, featuring Trife and Twiz, Trife the God or Trife Diesel, where he goes under these days. Ghost Showers was pretty good. Strawberry with Killer Sin, that was a dope song. Killer Sin to me kills it. Killer Sin, you guys should know from Killer Army. I wish he put it out. I wish he has more material out. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of stuff out because his in and outs with the law. He's always in jail. Can't to stay out of trouble. Unfortunately, but he's definitely a dope MC. In my opinion, the best MC in the Killah Army group. You know, to me, him and Don Pacino are the best ones, in my opinion. The song The Forest was pretty dope, where he uses cartoon characters for like a drug deal gone bad. That like those kind of stories. I thought that was pretty good. He used like cartoon characters like Droopy, you know, the Droopy dog and stuff like that, and things of that nature. The Jugs with Treff and Superb. Dope beat. Walking Through the Darkness. Dope track with featuring Tequila. That song also appeared on the Ghost Dog soundtrack. That's a dope song, pretty dope. Jealousy, that was okay. The Hilton was okay. And Street Chemistry, dope Alchemist track that he produced. Overall, this album was okay. It wasn't his best, but definitely if you're a fan of Ghostface and you want to add this to your collections, definitely you should pick it up. Like I said, when I first heard the album, I didn't like it because it had like more of a crossover feel to it. You know, definitely had some songs that had like that R&B feel to it, like, and that R&B from back in like 2001. Like, you know how R&B sounded from back in the day. That's not to say R&B back then sucked, but just for that direction they was going for, I was really feeling it because I was used to Ghostface Killah, you know, with the Iron Man and Supreme Clientele. Even Supreme Clientele, when that first came out, I didn't like it because I kind of judged that album unfairly because of the strength of that song Shit Shall I Ghost, and because of that song I didn't like the album, and I think that was it's not fair. But then when I heard the album years later, man, that's a dope album. A lot of people consider that his best album. I think Iron Man was his best album, but that's just me. Like I said, dope album, give it a chance. Like I said, it's not his best, but it's not his worst. I prefer this album than Pretty Toonie album, than the Pretty Toonie album. I feel like that album was kind of lackluster in my opinion. It had a couple of dope tracks, but like again, like it had like a lot more parties, like crossover tracks in my opinion. But this is Bulletproof Wallets, released in 2001. Definitely cop if you're a Ghostface fan, and if you're a fan of Wu-Tang, definitely pick it up. That's it, you guys. Short review, kind of, as far as album wise, but stay tuned for more. Peace.